Hi everyone, Jackie Kelm here, founder of the Emotional Flatlining Brain Training Program. Today I'm interviewing Tom, who had anhedonia or emotional flatlining, lost all of his feelings and was able to use the program to get them back. But then he lost his feelings a second time and was also able to use the program. So in this interview, he's going to share what he did, how it was to have flatlining, and I hope you're going to find this really valuable, especially if you feel like there's no hope, to know there are answers out there and you're not alone. I also want to apologize for the quality of the video. His internet was going in and out, and so we had to do a lot of cutting and pasting, and it's a little bit choppy, but hopefully it's still going to be very valuable for you. And again, as always, remember, you are not alone and there are answers out there. So let's go ahead and hear from Tom. I'm so grateful, Tom, that you are willing to take the time to talk with everybody today. You know, a lot of people want to remain anonymous with this work, which is understandable, but it's really, really helpful when people can hear from someone like you who's been through the emotional flatlining, not just once, but twice, and we'll get to that, and is willing to share their experience. So again, I really, really want to thank you for that. So I guess just to get started, can you just tell us, what was it like to have emotional flatlining?
I kept telling my family, I'm like, I used to love doing all of these things. Now I don't like doing them. Good. I mean, I had a brand new niece. Um, didn't really have any feelings for her. We'd play, and as she got older, maybe 3 or 4, we'd do puzzles, and I taught her how to ride a bike, and then I didn't have any excitement about it. I couldn't believe I told my sister that if there was a lightning storm, I am going outside and I'm going to hold metal up because I just didn't want to be around anymore. I wasn't living. It was just like those were the thoughts, constant thoughts, thinking of death every day. Now I even had a brain scan at that scan. Um, and they said your brain is fine. I couldn't believe it because you want to think. I even looked into electroshock therapy, but that was just too much. That was like anesthesia, and you need people around you. It was just too much. And I'm glad I didn't do that because I didn't need it. Anytime you ask somebody, oh, have you seen a therapist? Oh, are you taking medications? Sometimes your friends can be very supportive. I had a lot of friends that were sympathetic and understood. And then there were others to be like, just shake it off. Just get out of it. And those are the worst things that people can say to you because they don't know what you're going through. Of course, you want to just shake it off, but I kept pursuing it.
Oh, Tom, I totally relate. It was one of the worst things that I had ever been through. I also had tried all kinds of things with no success. I had it over a year. And, for me, there weren't any answers. I created this program, so I'm just curious, how did you find me?
So after time and time, I was just checking the internet and I saw something about anhedonia, which one of my therapists brought that word to me, which I never heard of. So I started researching and I came up with Jackie Kelm. I didn't see any other alternatives other than going back to therapy. And my therapist actually told me, he goes, I don't know if there's anything more I can do for you.
So you found me, you joined the program back then, which actually included a weekly live coaching component. We didn't have the home study option, which we do now. And as a matter of fact, you were part of the group that actually, from which I created the home study program. And clearly the live support was a big part of it. But anyhow, so tell me, so what did you think of the program overall?
I loved it. It was simple. It was easy. It was not a lot of time. Yeah, I looked forward to my Tuesday morning 8 a.m. calls, even though I didn't feel like I cared. But it gave me something on my calendar. It's something on your schedule. I didn't have much on my schedule except work. And I didn't want to have anything on my schedule. No family, no nothing. It didn't matter. I felt I had a group of people that were in the same situation.
So the group support was clearly a big part of it for you, which is totally understandable, right? Because you feel so alone with flatlining, and it's just wonderful to have other people to talk to about it and that. So tell me about, and Simple Pleasures is a big part of the program, and I have it in my the free program as well, because that's really a key exercise. But can you just tell us a little bit about your experience of actually getting your feelings back and what that was like?
It all started with me just eating leftover Chinese food. And all of a sudden I said, and I haven't had a feeling like that in about 2 years at that point in time. Now, by practicing, it started with that one Chinese food. Maybe I had that was the only one that day, but then maybe a week later I had three. And then I noticed things were happening to my feelings. My brain was changing. My anxiety was lower. Even though my situation hasn't changed in life, I noticed that that was rolling. And next thing I know, by week 7 in the program, I was feeling great. I didn't even have to write down my simple pleasures anymore. They were just popping in. I couldn't believe it. I really could not believe it. And I started crying like happy tears. I was in California doing one. Um, I'm tearing up now almost a little bit just thinking about it, just for the fact that it kind of happened. So
It is amazing how these exercises can bring back your feelings. And just for the record, 7 weeks is incredibly fast. I mean, most people don't get to where you were till really the end of the program, and often even later. So that's really incredible. And of course, I think a big part of that is because you were part of the live coaching back then as well. But anyway, so you got your feelings back, but then you lost them again. So tell me a little bit about that.
November of 2019, right before COVID, it happened again. I resigned from my job voluntarily. I went into a new adventure with a partner, and the partnership eventually just didn't work out. That really took its toll. Um, and then COVID came, and everybody, is in a panic and doing their own thing. And I was kind of happy because now I'm inside. Everybody's inside. I don't want to talk to anybody. It was almost a blessing in disguise that now I can sit home for 24 hours a day and do nothing. But that's not how to live. So I started doing the program again. And then I just noticed, oh my God, I think I'm out of this. And then my brain shifted. And it was just another amazing feeling. May 20th, tomorrow, by the way, is what I call my rebirth day because it was the day where I felt amazing. I went skydiving twice shortly after that. That's how good I felt about it. And now I feel like it's not going to come back because I know how to keep going with this.
So you were able to do the program again to get your feelings back, and it worked a second time around, which is really great to know. And like you said, now you know you've really got these exercises under your belt. And if you notice your feelings are starting to get a little bit less intense, you can always start doing some of the exercises and just get them back up again. So these are really almost like great life tools to have. And a lot of people, when they come and they see this program and they see us, they're so skeptical, understandably. A lot of people, by the time they get here, they've been on medications, they've done brain stimulation, they've seen doctors, and nobody has any answers. And all of a sudden, you see this program on the internet and you're kind of like, how in the world is this going to fix my condition after all these years and things I've tried? And so, it's really easy to be skeptical. So, and what would you say to people like that?
This is real. This is real. You can ask. Not that you're going to. You can ask. 20 of my friends that I bombarded with, and they all said, "Oh my God, you sound better." So by shifting your thoughts, shifting your attention span to something else during the day, um, simply that's how the brain kind of like adjusts itself. I don't know how else to say it other than your brain can be fixed very simply without medications, and I highly recommend it.
It is really hard to explain to people how the brain actually works, and how this program can get feelings back. And often I tell people it's like with stroke patients, when they lose part of the function in their brain, the way they get that function back is by going to physical therapy or wherever, and they'll stimulate that part of the brain. And so that's what we do. So anyway, given all that, the other issue that people have sometimes is the cost, and I try to keep this as low as possible because I know a lot of people are often struggling financially when they have this, because you lose a lot of motivation and interest in things. but the practical side is it does cost me money, and I do have to charge for it. So I guess, what would you say to people who are concerned about the price of the program?
I said I'd pay 10,000 at the end of it, knowing the result that happened. I said I'd give her 10,000 because I know what the result was.
Well, gee, maybe I should increase the price then. No, seriously. But I mean, really, when you look at it, the cost to me personally was huge. I have another business, Appreciative Living. That's really my main business. I literally had to drop out of that business for 3 years. I just did the bare minimum to keep it going. But Anhedonia took me out completely for a year. It took me a year to get all my feelings back, and then I spent a year creating this program and helping other people. So the cost was astronomical, and that's just the financial cost. But the emotional cost, my family, I had kids, me personally, like the costs are huge. So the sooner you can get going on this, the better. So okay, so again, thank you so much for joining us today and all of your great information. I guess at this point, are there any final thoughts or anything you'd like to share, maybe for people who are watching this who have emotional flatlining?
That you can get out of this. Just cons- Please just consider doing this. This isn't a commercial. This is just me being happy. Just got to keep going with it. And next thing I know, I'm feeling pretty damn good right now. I have a stress-free life right now, and I owe it all to just having a path to go to this emotional flatlining program.
Well, thank you, Tom. I'm sure this is going to help a lot of people. I really appreciate you being willing to speak about your experience. And for any of you who want to learn more about the program, we also have a free program as well on the website that you can check out. And you can find it all at www.getjoyback.com. That's getjoyback.com. I'm Jackie Kelm, creator of the Emotional Flatlining Program. Thanks for joining me today. Bye for now.